We'll have our stock, we'll have our port wine in the meantime, just to prepare. Once we're roasting the fat, things are gonna speed up a little bit. Once the lamb rack comes out of the pan, we wanna make sure that we introduce the wine right away, making sure that the butter doesn't burn, that your garlic doesn't burn, and reduce that down. Lamb rack is ready. That goes in the oven. With a little garlic, the rosemary, reducing the sauce. We got this ready because this butter is boiling hot. We want to deglaze that pan. Reduce the heat a little bit. It's a bit hot there. It doesn't really matter. That's why we had that ready. When your pan is really hot, there's this quick moment where the meat has to get out. Right away want to get that wine in because we don't want the butter to burn. We don't want these garlics to burn either. You know, it's gonna get a bitter flavor. It's not what we want. Want to make sure that they all stay exactly as intended. And there goes the sauce making. We're taking all the roastings from the side, the caramelized butter that is here on the edges, the reduced wine, the garlic is still in there. Then afterwards we're going to be adding the chicken stock and reduce it down together to a beautiful sauce. I have a little pan here ready with a little sieve as well. Also very important, because once this has reduced to the right amount, it needs to get out of that pan. Otherwise it goes too far, it gets too sticky, and it wouldn't be even possible to spoon it. So a little preparation here goes quite a long way, making sure that you have that little setup. Can be a bowl, can be a small sauce pot, whatever you have at home. We want to reduce this at least by half. We put in 200 mils, we want to reduce that to 100 more or less. And then we're going to be adding 500 milliliters of great quality stock. Try to get the best you can buy or make yourself, but that is a lot of work. I can imagine you don't really feel like, but me at home, at least I always have 2 liters of chicken stock in the freezer. It goes really great to make a batch, make 2 or 3 liters, freeze it up in little boxes, put it in the freezer. It's great for when you make your risotto, but by far the best it is when you're making sauces, because we need those bones and that gelatin from the real chickens to give that consistency in the sauce and to give that texture that we really want to get. If you don't have, butchers often sell great quality stocks. You can get them online. And when you do buy them in the supermarket, get a top shelf one. Make sure that it's fresh from the fridge. And here we're about ready for our stock. Everything in this pan is what we have cooked. All the roasting flavors from the lamb, the garlic, the rosemary, the butter. Now we have reduced that port wine. Now we have added the stock. This is just going to slowly reduce. Our sauce is reducing really nicely. Going to give it a gentle stir, making sure we catch everything from the edges. There's lots of caramelization going on the edges of the pan here. That's exactly what we want. We want this a little bit going over. We want it to caramelize while it's reducing. Gonna all add to the sauce, and by the time this is reduced to only a couple of centiliters, you will see we'll have an absolutely gorgeous sauce to work with. Now in the beginning when you make this sauce, you don't see much happening. You're really gonna start to wonder, okay, am I doing it right? Like, is this going the right direction? Nothing is happening in the first bit. It's all about those last few seconds. When it starts to get thicker, all of a sudden the flavor amplifies, the thickness goes quicker, and within no time we're gonna have to keep a really nice close eye on this to make sure that we don't over reduce this and it doesn't become too thick. We're definitely not there yet. We're gonna just let this be for a little while. The sauce is really starting to come to its boiling point. You see that the bubbles are starting to get bigger, starting to get a little bit thick. This is the time we're going to want to be paying close attention and make sure that it doesn't reduce too much. It's a matter of seconds right now. So we're going to stay really nice on top, scraping all that beautiful caramel that is forming on the edges, and that is really going to give a thickness and a richness to this sauce. It's not just a reduction, it's also the caramelization that happens on the edges of the pan. It's really what we want to have in the sauce and really what is going to give it its body. Reducing down, you can see it's starting to get nice and thick. It's deep in color, it's shiny, the butter is incorporated perfectly. This sauce is becoming gorgeous. And just there, we're going to be straining it off in our little saucepan. Important to have that ready, because if you have to go and look for one now, by the time you come back, your sauce will reduce until a really thick paste, and it will have lost its appeal. Beautiful and thick, dripping on the sides.